Hello everybody, this is True Demon, the Devil's Stockbroker, bringing you a special market update on a personal favorite ticker of mine. Before beginning the video, I want to remind everybody that I am not a financial advisor and none of what follows in this video is financial advice. You are responsible for all of your own trades and all of your trading decisions. And with that, we'll get started. So, SENS is a personal favorite ticker of mine because I've been following them since I'd say about February. Early mid-February is when I got locked into this stock. And for those that don't know, I wrote many Reddit DD articles on this particular stock. This is a company that creates a special biotech device known as a continuous glucose monitor, which is designed for type 1 and type 2 diabetics. The purpose of this device is to read sugar and glucose levels in the blood, which is very important for somebody who's diabetic because they don't create or their body cannot manage their own insulin levels very well. So because of this, SENS is creating a new type of device which is due for FDA approval, called their 180-day SENS. This stock has been on my radar for a long time. I've been waiting a long time to be able to finally share some good news about this company. And as you can see, it's been in a long consolidation trend, possibly the longest wedge we've seen since AMC, and it's been a really rough ride. They were actually due for their FDA approval back in mid to late December, and when that did not happen, their stock fell and collapsed, and then went into this little consolidation wedge after they announced their PROMISE study results, and that was great news, but it didn't quite follow through. But now suddenly something has happened. If we go here on the daily chart, we can see this consolidation wedge broke down to a low of $2.40, which I received some very mean comments from a lot of shorts telling me that it was going to go to nothing. And I want to let you know that you're wrong, because look at this. What in the hell happened here? Well, let me tell you. SENS has had a recent business update with their 180-day SENS. And for the first time, we have received some substantial news from the FDA pending their PMA supplement for the 180-day SENS continuous glucose monitor system. This is the fundamental change in this company that we have been waiting for. This catalyst has been brewing for well over a year. It's been overdue for a year. And finally, the FDA has pulled their heads out of their asses and delivered something to the company. We do not know if this is an approval or a denial, but given that this is a supplemental PMA or a add-on for their already existing and FDA-approved 90-day SENS product, we can assume that since this technology improves on the original design, that it has many impartial third-party studies done on it, which proves the data is accurate and that this glucose monitor is so good that it rivals that of certain types of glucose test strips which have become industry standard. Oh, and I forgot to mention, for those who don't know, this is a continuous glucose monitor which is unlike the Dexcom or Senseonics' next and largest competitor. It's not a transdermal glucose monitor that is through the skin with a needle such as with Dexcom's G6 series. No, this is a pill, basically, a chip that is inserted beneath the skin, and it's about the size of a grain of rice. It's able to sit beneath the skin in the upper arm or the bicep for now 180 days pending this FDA approval. And the best part is that this thing is within 1 to 5% margin of error with glucose test strips. That's a phenomenal level of accuracy. It's a device which is able to sit inside the arm beneath the skin so you don't have to think about it. It transmits data directly to your smartphone in real time, giving you up-to-date data on your glucose levels, alerting people to critical changes in their insulin, glucose, and sugar levels throughout the day. And the best part is that it outlasts the G6 system, the most expensive, most industry standard transdermal continuous glucose monitor, by over 12-fold. That's right. The G6 series transdermal needle is only able to sit within the skin for up to 14 days, but usually it fails before then, and they tend to fall out. So this is a massive improvement in design that I'm sure that people that suffer from diabetes have been long awaiting. And now with FDA approval, or at least a final say in what the FDA is going to deliver, is now right around the corner. So I'll give a brief recap on the company. They're currently working with Ascensia Diabetes Care. Ascensia was previously an arm of Bayer, which was their it was targeted towards their diabetics market. However, they were bought out by Panasonic Health Holdings Company, Health Holdings Corporation. I'm not sure on the name there, but Panasonic is the name you're looking for. They bought this arm of the company, created Ascensia, and turned it from a I believe it was like a negative 30 million to a $1 billion company in 1 year. Ascensia is now huge, and they provide all the contracts for Blue Cross, Blue Shield, and I believe MetLife, and I think they also have partnerships with Cigna. Essentially, they have access to most of the major insurers for diabetic care and treatment throughout the world. This includes Europe, the EU, the Middle East, Far East, and now with FDA approval, we can assume that the device will be available in the United States as well, opening up access to more than 20 million insurable Americans that suffer from diabetes. As I said, this is the catalyst we have been waiting for, and that's not even the best part. If we take a look at Ortex, we see that Senseonics is at a 26% short interest. And as we look at the age of these loans have been in place for well over 2 months on average. That places the average price of these shorts in the mid $3 range. At most, it puts them around $4 if they got in at the ideal mark, but very unlikely. Shorts have been at this for quite a while. This stock has been hammered over and over again. I have no doubts in my mind that it's being targeted, but I'm willing to bet that this FDA announcement has caught them blind. They were not ready for it. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the ruling says. I'm very much hoping for an approval, but just the whiff of an FDA ruling is enough to get the stock to jump. Returning back to Webull, we see that the company was pretty much just doing what it usually does, which is not moving at all. Most of the movement is done because of algorithms. As you can see, if you zoom in on the chart, the closer you get to it, if you look at on the 1 minute, it's more like barcoding. But as soon as the news hit, this thing took off in post-market trading, and oh man, was it exciting! I've been traveling for work this week, so I haven't been able to watch the charts as much as I would usually like to. But God, this has been exciting. I have been waiting for Senseonics to finally make its move, and now we see the 50-day moving average crossing above the 200-day moving average. Right after it had just crossed below. It's been teasing it for the last couple of weeks, I would say. These pink and gold lines here is what I'm talking about. Pink being the 50-day and gold being the 200-day. These are typically very important trading signals, and for there to be a clear cross in one direction or the other typically would signal bearish or bullish divergence. Now, if the 50-day continues in its trend upward and we hold above $3, I have no doubt in my mind that we'll get a golden cross with the 50-day moving clearly above the 200 moving day average, with the MACD ready to signal a changeover in direction. And further to that, we also have divergence in the OBV, which is finally starting to, well, I imagine we will begin to see this curl around as volume comes back into the stock. I'm very much looking forward to getting even more of my position. I originally had 5,000 shares, which I have day traded away, played with some options here and there, trying to make some profit on this as time has dragged on, waiting for this FDA approval. But finally, now that this has this announcement's been teased and we can expect FDA approval very, very soon, I would imagine within the next 30 days, that we will expect some significant volatility in the stock. It's also funny to me that this landed exactly on the Fibonacci timeline that we had set. And I remember talking to Jason Paulin about this, and I said to him, well, if in January on this Fib line, if Sensionics an announcement comes, then Fibonacci tell the future, and God, I'm officially a believer. Fibonacci's tell the future. I say it as a joke, but I honestly, I don't know what to believe anymore. It's a phenomenal trading strategy. I'll say that at least. So back to Ortex, as we look a little bit closer on the timeline. Yeah, I would say that at the best case scenario for shorts, they would have gotten in at the highest at $4. That is the absolute best that they can hope for. Most of them would have been in the mid $3 mark. So now at this point, we can say that if we hold above $3 tomorrow, then we can say that we have any shorts below that level trapped in their positions, and there is going to be quite a lot of them. There hasn't been as much security lending volume relative to the past spikes that we've had, with well over 2 times their float at the time. But I'd still say that this is pretty good volume that we're seeing right here. 13, 14 million thereabouts, not bad. So we can say that shorts are definitely very active in the stock, obviously, with a SI of 26%. I'm trying to remember exactly what their float is. If I remember correctly, it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 million. So I just double-checked my numbers, courtesy of StockBot. Float is 400.52 million with 445.38 million shares outstanding, most of those being held by insiders. Institutional ownership makes up 31% of the ownership of the stock, so we can estimate that roughly about 120 million shares are held by major institutions, requiring a 13F filing. So it's a significant amount of institutional ownership in this stock, plenty of them being massive supporters, the largest holder being Panasonic Holdings. So not too much to worry about there. They're a long-term holder that invested in Sensionics, and they're a beneficiary that are they are helping to build the company. They are behind Essentia, who has been the major supporter, funder, and share buyer, and their trading strategy, to the best of my knowledge, has been a consistent buy and hold strategy. They build up companies and they build revenue, and that is how they do business. So we don't have to worry very much about them selling anything. What we do have to worry about, however, is shorts getting extremely aggressive with the news that FDA approval is just around the corner. I have no doubt in my mind that this stock is being aggressively and maliciously shorted by competitors, although it cannot be proven due to reporting or just a lack of reporting and transparency. We can suspect that there are plenty of organizations in the diabetics and pharmaceuticals industry that do not want to see this kind of product come to light, because it would just simply conflict with their business models too much. a product that costs only $100 to be administered once every 6 months is just not going to cut the mustard when you compare it to the cash cow of Dexcom's G6, which costs $500 a month. There's just no comparison, and the price is so much better for SENS that it would blow its competition out of the water. So what I expect to see in the coming trading weeks is for shorts to get extremely aggressive. Volatility will be coming back into the stock with this news. And while we cannot be certain whether shorts will end up getting trapped for sure, we can probably expect that as the volatility increases and shorts continue to get more aggressive, we're already at 91.8% utilization, and we have been hanging above a 90% utilization ever since the 8th of December. That being said, cost to borrow is still pretty low. If we start to see this climb and climb rapidly, then we might be looking at a short squeeze here. I'm holding Senseonics for the long-term potential. I believe in this company, and that it can completely overtake its competition once it goes to market in the United States, being that the United States is one of the largest patients per capita in the diabetics care industry. Not exactly proud of that statistic, but it's an important one to keep in mind when you're talking about the business model of a company that's looking to take care of people suffering with type 1 diabetes. So as we wrap up this video, just know that FDA approval is not confirmed yet. It's not happened yet. This is just kind of a lead up thanks to a release from Tim Goodnow, Dr. Goodnow from the executive board of Senseonics and chief executive officer, kind of teasing the release of information that the FDA is getting very close to completing its backlog and that they expect a ruling to come back soon. That being said, I would say that within 30 days we should expect it, but if you are going to trade on that assumption, I would not trade options with that close of an expiration. It tends to be a little bit dangerous. So what I will be doing, I am already in most of my options positions. I've already taken up a huge number of leap positions in Senseonics. Most of them have been in the money leaps at half a cent. I've been in this stock for a long time, but it's worth mentioning that the 21st of January call options have been extremely over-leveraged. There is massive gamma potential here. If there is any chance that this stock could squeeze, then it would most likely come through gamma potential and a combined short squeeze. If shorts get trapped below $4 and this gamma ramp continues to grow, especially with this news, I expect the open interest on these calls to just rocket through the stratosphere. This news hit after the market, so the options market hasn't even had a chance to react to this information. So I'm expecting some massive volatility going into the market for this stock first thing at the morning bell, which is why I am up at 2 in the morning trying to deliver this information. So in any case, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching these updates and tracking these stocks with me, and good luck in the markets.